Hey everyone, DeathKnight here, coming back to you with another story. This time, a little bit more of a horror story, titled "DM Makes an Encounter We Didn't Need to Participate in." Let's get into it. So, first time posting, but I feel like I got a pretty juicy horror story for you all. So let's begin. A little bit of a background on the encounter. The party is relatively low level, maybe 5 to 6 across the board, consisting of a champion fighter, an assassin rogue, and a Healy cleric, and myself, a dashing draconic sorcerer. Now, the way we did our adventures within this campaign was centered on a guild we were a part of. Pretty standard stuff, no problems there. We get tasked with the following. There's been word of a robot army slowly developing from within a mountain due east. They were once made by man and controlled, but eventually figured out how to make themselves and have started to rapidly reproduce with a single robot acting as their leader. We're told if we take out the leader, the others will be without direction and we can wipe them out easier. So the party's like, cool, let's do it. But before we can set off, the DM adds this tidbit where, oh, and the quest giver has to accompany you on the journey. We think, oh, alright, so an escort mission. Easy enough. Nope. Insert Sir EdgeLord, the edgiest edge that has ever edged. He had a real name, but honestly, he was so generically edgy that EdgeLord is the only appropriate name for him. So we get moving, eventually get to the mountain and start to climb it. We take out some minor minions, post it outside, and immediately the first red flag pops up. Sir EdgeLord is way stronger than the party. His attack model is higher than any of us by at least 3 or 4, and we were all pretty competent and my charisma was maxed out. He's two-shotting almost everything while we're struggling to keep up. Second red flag. We reach a section of the mountain where we see that there is a set of massive mechanical snakes in our path. Well, we just got done taking out a bunch of tiny enemies, and we don't want to have to spend more slots and resources putting these guys down. So, I take it upon myself to form a plan. It's pretty simple. We have a portable hut with us so that the party could climb into, and another member could carry with them high magic item, plus it helped with a player had to leave, so we could just put them in the hut and keep going. So my plan is just to cast haste on our fighter, who is a centaur with massive speed already, and they dash past the enemy, taking a couple of attacks of opportunities, but the cleric can patch them up good. We all think it's a good idea, and know that these snakes won't be able to keep up. So we start climbing in the hut, when Sir EdgeLord goes, I think I'll ride on the fighter's back instead. We think, okay, maybe he can protect her from a hit or two when she runs by? Nope. No joke. As the fighter runs past these giant mecha snakes, in a matter of 2 turns, he manages to wipe them out. The rest of the party is dumbfounded, and the rising question of, why are we even here, is constantly passed around. DM is quick to say that the effort took a lot out of Sir EdgeLord, and that he wouldn't be able to do that again. Then why did you have him do it in the first place? We didn't have to fight. Eventually, we make our way into the caverns of the cave after a few more light fights of EdgeLord showing us how superior he is to all of us. We reach a large cavity where we spot a bunch of currently inactive robo soldiers, about 40 or 50 or so, lined up next to this massive manufacturing belt, currently pumping out these bad boys. So I start to strategize with the rogues since we're the only 2 sneaky enough to have crept up here to see all this. We're in the middle of discussing how we plan to slip down to the machine making these robo boys and disable it, while the other party members start to break down the army as much as they can before they wake up and start fighting back. We're all getting excited for this awesome fight up ahead. And nope. Literally, before we can do any of this, DM says EdgeLord steps forward and summons a literal black hole that sucks up all the robo soldiers, the manufacturing line, everything that was set up for us to deal with. We kind of stand there thinking, the fuck? As Edgelord goes, but now I'm really tired, so I have to rest in the hut. I'll let you guys handle the boss. And so he retreats into our portable hut, and at this point, the party is just glad to have any type of agency. So we move forward. We think, alright, so he took care of the minions, but we get to face the boss ourselves. Oh, how foolish we were. We arrive at a large room after taking an elevator down a floor. Inside, we find a lone figure of a mechanical man sitting on a wooden throne, surrounded by heaps of treasure and goods scattering the floor. So we try to enter the room together to take down this big bad. Cleric and Rogue, you entered before doors slammed shut, and Sorcerer and Fighter, you guys are locked out. Everyone. What? So a wooden door separates me and the Fighter from the other members of the group as the room immediately fills with poison gas that begins to chip away at them each round. At the same time, the Robot King has woken up and started to fire spells at our poor Rogue and Cleric, who are panicking now. Rogue goes in to do some damage against Robo-Boy, only to discover that somehow Robo-Boy has a magical impenetrable force field that after several attacks, both from Cleric and Rogue, they realize they can't break through as they are getting peppered with spells and poison. Meanwhile, me and the Fighter are trying to break down this basic wooden door. Literally, the DM says it's just a locked door. I'm blasting it away with scorching rays and the Fighter's tearing at it with his massive great axe. But for some godforsaken reason, this door is the door from hell. Because even after 5 straight turns of us attacking this fucking door, we can't break it down. Meanwhile, the Rogue is assuming that there's some trick to the room, while the Cleric is running out of spell slots trying to keep them from downing. The Rogue rolls 3 perception checks on the room, trying to see if there's anything he can do. 1, open the door. 2, stop the gas. Or 3, bring down the Robo-Boy's force field. He rolls in the mid to low 20s each time, with expertise, and gets back nothing each time. So he starts to desperately dig through the piles of magic items, hoping that it's something in there. He finds literally nothing to help him in the fight. Some boots of speed, maybe an elven cloak. He's at 6 or 7 HP. Turn 7 comes around, and finally, me and the Fighter get through. Acting as the de facto leader, I note that our healer is out of spell slots and our Rogue is almost dead, and that this guy has a literal force field making him impervious to all attacks. Fucking retreat. We all make our way to the elevator as Robo-Boy chases us, blasting us with spells the entire way. We're all hurting and know we can't take this guy down when the DM says, "You guys realize that you've had the answer in front of you the whole time." Insert collective what? DM basically orders me to open the hut after I protest, saying that the Edgelord said he was tired and shouldn't have been able to do anything in the time he was resting, since it's only been 10 minutes since his last encounter. But I am forced to open the portal. By the way, none of us can tell this man's class. He has warlock spells, but a basic understanding of a warlock would tell you that he would run out of maybe 2 or 3 spells, while he's been throwing out massive spells like he was a fucking sorcerer. EdgeLord steps out. For some unexplained reason, the Robo-Boy drops his magical force field of fuck you at the same exact time. How convenient! And EdgeLord literally casts a single spell, which tears the Robo-King in 2. And we were left wondering why the fuck we even came. Encounter over. The DM is very happy with the encounter, while the rest of us are just going, what the fuck just happened? I should mention that this was the very first campaign I've ever been a part of, so I legit had no idea what happened. I have a bunch of stories like these of EdgeLord inserting himself into the party as the DM tried his best to make us care about his character we all thought was an asshole and wanted nothing to do with. You know what? After reading that entire story, I want to know about Sir EdgeLord. Like, What was the extra story? What? How did he get so strong that he could wheel fucking black holes? That's badass. Him, I like the DM's simple answer of, yeah, it's just a regular wooden door. You guys just aren't very strong, I guess. You can't fucking break this door. Uh, well then, I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to hear more. This is DeathKnight. Thank you for listening.